This
My screen is
conference will now be
Yes.
recorded.
okay.
Yeah, we can see.
Right. Thank you. So look at this. I just created this page over here, and this is the page which we are going to use throughout our course. All right. So if you look at this, who is your trainer? Definitely this is not me, but you can check my LinkedIn profile and you can know more about me. And as I just explained about over here, my core expertise lies in ABAP, UI5, Fiori, ABAP on HANA, web development. So I kind of do all these things. And basically, I'm not into online training. I am a corporate trainer, and I work as an independent consultant most of the time. So if in case you want to refer me to your organization, you are most welcome. Okay, so that was a quick and short introduction about me. And I see that most of you have already introduced yourself, which is good. All right. So fine. And let me just tell you a few things about how we are going to proceed with this course. And if any one of you have prior experience of SAP UI5, you can let me know. And how we will proceed. This is whole agenda over here. All right. So first of all, just note down this site over here. Note down this site, and you need to go to SAP UI5 over here, and you need to go to this page. This is the page which we are going to use throughout our program. Okay. And how I'm going to use this page throughout my program, because every day it becomes very difficult for me to send in a link to all of you. So over here, if you can see here, I will mostly be providing the link, the GoToMeeting link with which we can join this particular course. All right. So this will be our medium of interaction. So I'm not going to send messages or emails, nothing. I'm not going to do anything like that. I will just paste the link over here, mostly half an hour before the session or maybe 10 minutes before the session, and you all can come here and join from here. So this is our approach. Now, second thing is that if you want to communicate anything to me, this will be the place to communicate. You just need to come here and you can communicate with me over here. So why I'm doing like this? Because I don't want to spend a lot of time looking at emails and all those stuffs. So if someone misses any class, recording will be shared. No, Pavan, I'm not going to share any recording. This is a live session and you need to focus and concentrate right over here itself. And by the time I discuss all these things, you will be having an idea that how exactly we are going to complete this whole SAP UI5 course. Okay. So yeah, this is a good approach. I exactly like the way Pavan asked me the question. When I'm in the session, you can definitely ask me question through the chat. That is the best way to communicate. All right. Okay. So once again, welcome to all of you, and welcome to SAP UI5. All right. So how many of you can just let me know quickly. How many of you do have a prior knowledge of SAP UI5? Yes, I will be sharing the next class timing. So Moni, let me just call in short Moni. Okay. What is the duration of this course? This course will go for almost 10 to 12 hours. And what my plan is that probably if this class is good about that, we will do this course every day, 1 hour. Or if you want in a weekend style, I can do that in a weekend style, probably 2 hours every weekend. So whatever is comfortable with the class, I will go according to that. Yes. So coming back to the question, my question was like, how many of you are familiar with SAP UI5?
Hi, Amit.
Yes, Bharat.
Yeah, I'm not directly worked on SAP UI5, but I have worked on few Fiori applications. In that, for deploying, I have worked with my colleagues for UI5. They taken care of those. So I just have a basic about UI5.
Good, nice.
Thanks.
And what about others? A little bit of prior knowledge, or in
Yeah,
your
Amit.
team someone is working. Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah,
Amit. This is Swati.
Yes, Swati.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, Swati. Go ahead.
Okay, so I am an SAP ABAP experience with 7.5 years, and I have worked till date. I have worked only on ECC. I didn't get a chance to work upon SAP HANA. And regarding SAP UI5, I have a basic idea about SAP UI5 in terms of by going through the SAP sites and all, but I never got a chance to work upon it. I don't have, or other way around, I can say I don't have in-depth knowledge, just a basic knowledge I have.
Okay, fine. All right, thank you. Yes, anyone else wants to speak up?
yeah, Amit, this is Sarfaraz.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir, Faraz.
I have around 13 plus years experience in SAP. Even techno-functional kind of thing. I've been associated with SD, MM, all, even ABAP also have an experience all the world. So I'm familiar with somewhat basic knowledge of UI5. I've been certified in ABAP on HANA and SAP UI5. I have familiar with somewhat OData, and that's it. So not into deep into UI5. So that is the reason I want to keen enough to go into this SAP UI5 also. So this is what I know as of now.
Okay, nice. So that's nice to hear. And I think this will be the majority of us. This will be the same background. So many of you have heard about SAP UI5. Many of you have worked in your projects with some SAP UI5 consultant, etc.,
One question.
etc. Yep.
So if you are not an ABAP consultant, I mean, if you do not have a ABAP background, do you think he should not learn with SAP UI5?
Before I answer this question, what exactly is the background?
Well, I work for SAP, but I'm an integration consultant. I'm not a deep ABAPer, but yeah, I mean, I can see and I can understand the code. But that's why I asked that, is it like a strong ABAP knowledge is required for SAP UI5?
I will keep this question in my mind, and I will definitely answer this question. Okay.
Sorry to
Right.
disturb. Okay.
No, that's fine. So that's fine. And I definitely like a class. I don't want a monotonous class. You can interact with either speaking or you can interact with chatting. I read all the chat, whatever you write here. Okay. So, right, many of you have written that you kind of try to explore at your end about SAP UI5. Okay, so let me bring you right into SAP UI5. I think I have introduced myself. You know everything about me now. Probably you can also check my LinkedIn profile, etc., etc. I told you I am not into online training as such, but I am a corporate trainer right now at this moment. And yes, I do a lot of consultant work, and my client is mostly from US or Canada. So if you want to introduce to your company, you are most welcome. All right, so coming back to SAP UI5, right? Definitely, you all know SAP UI5 is a new programming language from SAP, right? You all know this, and uh, you know, any idea when this was introduced? When SAP UI5 came into the market?
2015.
Okay, fine. Somebody said 2015. Any other answer?
2016.
So, Pawan, Swati, 2015, 16. Next. Any other answer?
So Amit, I think UI5 is already there previously from back. So we have so later on SAP has taken over this SAP UI5. So I think it's down the line around 3-4 years back they have started on. is what I understand.
Any number? Any year, date?
If I'm not wrong, around between 2014 to 15, it seems.
Okay, let me take it 2014. Good. That
Not
was
sure
a
the
very good.
exact. Yeah.
That's fine. No issues. I'm going to tell you all these things. So that's nice. I mean, why I asked you this question, perhaps I just wanted to know from your end that, how much you are familiar with this. Okay, so, right. But let me give you some background of UI5. Let me just try to give you some background of UI5. Actually, in the year 2013, okay, in SAP TechEd. So I hope I will take this class with the basic understanding that you all know about SAP, you all have knowledge of SAP. I'm not going to, because as I mentioned in my invitation, that this course is actually primarily designed for someone who has experience of SAP. At least even a one year is fine, but you should know what is SAP. So I'm not going to explain what is SAP. I'm just directly going into SAP UI5. Okay, so in year 2013 in SAP TechEd, SAP introduced 25 Fiori apps. Okay, so I believe you must all have heard about Fiori apps. Definitely, since you are in SAP domain, you must have heard about Fiori apps. Okay, yes or no? Yeah, I
Yes,
see
quite
Swati.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I see Swati answering yes. All right, and most of you agree to me that yes, you all have heard about Fiori apps. Now just look at that number. So 25 Fiori apps introduced in the year 2013. Let me tell you another very important statement. All Fiori apps are written using SAP UI5 language. So what did I just say? I said that there are 25 2013, there are 25 Fiori apps, and all Fiori apps are written using SAP UI5 language. So that basically brings in the information that that SAP UI5 was in the market before 2013, right? So you can say that SAP UI5 was in the market by 2012, and then SAP launched 25 Fiori apps in the year 2013, right? So this is something we can understand. That I just wanted to give you a slight background. Why I want to give you a slight background, because right now we are in 2020, right? It's almost 8 years. And anyone who thinks that SAP UI5 is a new technology, no. 8 years is a long time for any technology to establish itself, and SAP UI5 cannot be considered as a new technology. But then most of you do not have, or you have not yet got yourself programmed with SAP UI5. But that's fine. This is what we are going to do over here in this course, right? So almost 20 years, so almost 8 years old technology is SAP UI5. All right. So whatever I'm going to write here is very important, and definitely I'm not going to write a lot of theory here, but I'm just going to write some very key points. All right. So 8 years old. Now, next question. How many of you think? So before we actually go into SAP UI5, how many of you think that learning SAP UI5 is important? How many of you? Quickly, you can just chat down in the chat box. So Srikant, Moni, Santosh, Dipyanshu, Deepak Sarma, Karthik. To understand the whole cycle, it's really important. All right, I feel that most of you are going to write down yes. So let me take the answer as yes. Okay, next question. Why do you think it is important?
Because future of SAP application is going to be Ui5 application instead
I
of
got an
GUI.
answer.
No,
Okay,
what I assume is this: nowadays everybody is moving on to the UI technology like mobile zone and online everything. So nobody is working on the on-premises thing. I mean, on-premises in the sense, nobody is nowadays using desktop or laptop. Everything should be operated through the mobile application and the cloud base, and even I mean internet base. So that is the reason what I understand SAP UI5 nowadays is very important for us, because everybody can access from anywhere. Not we no need of any I mean a laptop or desktop or need to set. So that is the reason SAP UI5 it's very important for future generation.
Okay. Okay. Digital is future. I got an answer, like new answer. Digital is future. Hybrid application are in trend now. So I'm getting a lot of different answers. Fine. So that's good. I believe that that was a very valid question that I just asked in front of you. Why do you think it is important? So I got these answers like future of SAP is based on SAP UI5, and mostly like the answer of it is mobile friendly, right? And etc. Like it can be based on the cloud, digital is future, hybrid apps, etc. Right? So a lot of different answers I got. Fine. So that's correct. Actually, the answer is correct. So it is important to learn SAP UI5 because, as you might be knowing that SAP S4 HANA, I hope you all know SAP S4 HANA, what exactly it is. And definitely it is the new enterprise solution from SAP, right? It is the new enterprise solution from SAP. And the face of SAP S4 HANA, the face of S4 HANA is Fiori, right? This is what SAP has told about S4 HANA. The face of S4 HANA is Fiori, and Fiori is all based on SAP UI5. So that kind of brings the whole logic together that SAP has endorsed Fiori as their main user interface. And this main user interface Fiori is created using SAP UI5 language. So indirectly, SAP UI5 becomes very important, absolutely important. There is no denying about it. Okay. And as you must have heard about it, Fiori 2.0 was a standard package of SAP S4 HANA, released in the year 2015, right? Now we have Fiori 3. We will not discuss about Fiori 3 at this moment, but I hope you understand the importance of SAP UI5 because of all these things. All right. So definitely SAP UI5 is very important, no doubt about it. And that the major reason behind it is this, that SAP wanted the data of SAP to be available any type of customers and any type of device, and they wanted it to be system independent. So it means that you don't have to go and log in into your SAP logon pad, and from there you need to go to SAP transactions, etc. You don't have to do that. You just go to your Fiori launchpad, access your Fiori apps wherever you are, any device you are in, it doesn't matter at all. So that was a brief introduction to SAP UI5. Nice. And I find that majority of our class does have a good understanding of UI5. They understand the importance of UI5, so they understand what exactly they are going to get in this entire course. All right. So UI5 is also known as the UI development toolkit for HTML5. This is just a name. Actually, it is the real name of SAP UI5. This is actually known as UI development toolkit for HTML5. And this UI5 was based on other open source technologies. As you can see from here, SAUI5 library is built on top of JQuery, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, right? So these are the open source technologies. Anyone can use them, anyone can learn them, anyone can build their own frameworks on top of these open source technologies. So SAP built the framework. It's kind of a framework. Just understand that SAP UI5 is a framework. Why it is known as a framework? Because it is not just a language. It gives you the entire environment in which you can create beautiful web applications. So that's why SAP UI5 is known as a framework. So it's not just a simple language, but it's an entire framework inside which you can create beautiful web-based applications that can run on any device, right? So, and this UI5 library or UI5 framework is built on top of these open source technologies, right? Okay, so in this question already you have answered the very important point that these days everyone is looking for applications that can run on a mobile device, and this has all happened because of which technology? Can anyone guess? Java. Okay, very close. So we all are on mobile device because of Java. What do you say, class? C++.
Should be HTML.
Okay, fine. I understood where my question is leading all of you to, right? Which technology? I think I asked the wrong term, technology. I don't know how to frame that, but I should have asked which operating system, which OS. I think that should have been the correct question.
Android.
Yes, that's exactly the answer. Android was actually launched in 2008. You all know that before 2008 there was no Android. There was iOS, but Android was not there. Android was launched in the year 2008. And now in 2020, I believe that every one of you has a mobile device, actually a smartphone in their hand. So it's the whole credit of this mobile era goes to Android, right? Because of Android, everything it was a new wave in the technology world in which everyone started creating apps. So now you have apps for almost everything. That same pressure was there on SAP as well. The demand was there that why don't you bring the data of SAP on the mobile device? And to answer that, if you look at the timelines now, 2008 Android, 2012 SAP UI5, right? So this is how things have changed. Now we have SAP UI5, so we don't have to worry about bringing the data to the mobile device. All right. Okay. So just remember this point that SAP UI5 is based on these open source languages. How useful it will be to learn SAP UI5? We have already asked this question and you all have answered that, so I don't have to repeat that again. Now, all Fiori apps are written using SAP UI5 as their underlying programming language. This is some very important point that you should always remember. Now, I told you S4HANA, the face of S4HANA is SAP Fiori. So you understand the importance of Fiori, you understand the importance of UI5. And definitely, I believe that you understand the importance of S4HANA. By 2027, every organization has to move to S4HANA, whether you are working on ECC, R3, R2, whatever you are working on, you have to move to S4HANA by 2027. This is the timeline given by SAP. And which means that as we move towards S4HANA, the importance of Fiori will become more and the importance of SAP UI5 programmers will increase. Okay, SAP UI5 is there to stay. Organizations understand the benefit of creating SAP UI5 applications, so learning this won't be a bad choice. So this is just to let you know that why we are doing this course. Okay, some very important questions that normally someone who is new with SAP UI5, they ask me. Do we need to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in order to learn SAP UI5? What is the answer?
No.
Okay, I got one answer as yes, and
Amit,
someone said me.
Yeah, Amit, this is only one the fear which I was dragging up for around 3-4 years, due to which, because as I'm having a background of a BAP and all ECC and everything, so but I don't have much experience on HTML, CC, so that is the reason I was avoiding. But still, I'm having a fear whether I can learn or not due to just
Okay,
HTML, CC, and JavaScript.
Sarfaraz,
Yeah.
that fear will go away. You don't worry about that. It's my promise. That fear will not be there as I proceed with this course. So you don't worry at all. Okay. What about others? So many of you are saying that, learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is kind of very, the basic of SAP UI5. And Shreyal told me that yes, at least basic knowledge is required. So 2% answer is basic knowledge is required. Okay, so that kind of is an answer to Sarfaraz or anyone who believes that they need a very hardcore knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The answer is actually no. That this was something that when I started, okay, I didn't, kind of introduce myself a lot, but yeah, as we go ahead in the course, I will definitely tell more about myself. So when I did my Fiori certification way back in 2016, at that time it was very new. There was nobody who knew about it, and there was no resource, nothing to learn about SAP UI5 and all those things. So at that time, I also felt that yeah, learning CSS, HTML, and JavaScript is kind of very, very important in order to learn SAP UI5. But then with time, I understood that that's not correct. You don't have to be an expert of HTML, CSS, or JavaScript to learn SAP UI5. Not at all. But yes, you should have if you have a basic understanding, it's very good. That is absolutely, that will give you an edge over anyone who doesn't know that. But that's not a stopping point to learn SAP UI5. Okay, next question that many of my attendees ask me, so how should we start? Whether we should start if we have zero knowledge. Let's say I assume that you have zero knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. My attendees do ask me this question that, what do you say, Amit? I mean, should I start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then should I start learning SAP UI5? My straightaway answer to all of you and anyone who asks me this question is no. Don't take that approach. If you take that approach, you will get lost with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That is so vast, endless. It's, all three are like oceans. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Okay. So all three are very, very vast topics. They are very vast topics. And if you think about it, just, if you think about it like JavaScript, there are people who know only JavaScript. They know nothing. They don't know anything other than JavaScript. That is only the subject that they know. And let me tell you, they earn more than, I should not say that, but yeah, they earn very good, absolutely good, amazing. So this is what they earn. Just one language, JavaScript. So just think about it. If a language is so powerful, and how much time it will take to actually master that language. It will take a lot of time. Minimum 2 to 3 years of full-time devotion to JavaScript is required in order to master this particular language. Okay, I'm not talking about HTML and CSS at all at this moment. So if I add all those things, you can think how big it is. But let me come straight away to the point. We are learning SAP UI5, and I will answer you the question. You don't have to worry about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript at all. As you learn SAP UI5, right, you will face a little bit of difficulty understanding JavaScript, but just hold on the work. Just hold on the progress. Don't stop, right? So don't stop. Keep doing SAP UI5. And all these technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will come to you indirectly. You don't have to just run after them directly. They will come after you indirectly. So I have answered the question very nicely. I think that you don't worry about any of these technologies. You just start learning SAP UI5. Good. Next question. Most of us ask me if they are new to this domain. What is SAP Fiori? Any answer? We discussed about SAP Fiori till now. I said something about Fiori, but I never went into the exactly the answer of what is SAP Fiori. So any answer from my class?
Front end for SAP S4HANA.
It's an app, SAP app, I mean Fiori. front-end apps.
SAP Fiori is that lies on the presentation layer of SAP, and that is the way to show the backend data from SAP.
Okay. So I think I captured the questions. I captured the answers over here. I got two answers. That is Fiori front end. It's kind of an app. And then I got another answer like presentation layer of SAP, right?
So this Fiori app is nothing but we are calling SAP transactions within SAP Fiori app and making sure that all the data has been captured, whatever is required for SAP.
Fine. Fiori app calling SAP transactions to show data. Okay. And Pawan has answered me, it's a framework. Okay, fine. So that's nice. Let me just give an explanation from my end as well, and then you can come to a decision or conclusion or a definition of SAP Fiori, right? So as per SAP's definition, what is Fiori? As per SAP's definition of Fiori, SAP Fiori is a collection of apps. This definition is not given by me. This definition is not given by any one of us. This definition is given by whom? It is given by SAP itself, that SAP Fiori is a collection of apps. So basically, the collection of apps that we have in SAP's basket can be called as SAP Fiori. As simple as that. All right. And I will just give you some more idea. So I told you that in the year 2013, SAP came up with 25 Fiori apps. I have given you the definition of Fiori apps, and basically Fiori is known as a flower in Italy. In Italian language, it is known as flower. And SAP came up with 25 Fiori apps. And then I got an answer like Fiori app calling SAP transactions to show data, which is fine. So it's kind of an app. You can say it's an app, and definitely it will show some data. So it's an app and it will show data. No doubt about it. Okay. So which is fine. But the term Fiori actually refers to a collection of apps. A group of apps together that is given by SAP is known as Fiori. And definitely all these are apps and they will show SAP's data. No doubt about it. Only SAP transactions? No, not exactly correct. There are different approaches of SAP Fiori. So it's not like just SAP transactions are data is being displayed.
Fact sheets.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm not going into that part of types of Fiori apps. So that we will not discuss at this moment. That will be going ahead of the things. But yes, I'm just talking about Fiori apps at this moment. So that's okay. I mean, yes, Fiori apps is responsible to show the data. That's correct, but not just SAP transactions. They can be anything. They can be new Fiori apps developed by SAP to show some new business scenario, etc., etc. So you can just think about Fiori apps as like they are apps, and they will definitely be the first UI, first user interface for the end users. So for the end users, and these end users will interact mostly with these Fiori apps, whatever Fiori apps it may be, it doesn't matter. So end users will interact with the Fiori apps. Okay, now let me tell you something. So 25 Fiori apps in 2013, 2020, how many apps do we have? How many Fiori apps do we have?
Approximately 275.
275.
No, more than that. That list is so condensed.
Yeah, any number is fine. I got some number from Pawan. He is saying it's 10,000.
Yeah, I will support 10,000.
And I'm getting some other numbers in between 275 and 10,000, that is 3,000, 1,275, etc., etc. Perfect. All of you are fine. All of you are correct. I don't want to deny anyone. All of you are correct. But Pawan is to the closest of the answer. Actually, it is 11,000 plus apps. All right. So 11,000 plus apps. Can you believe this? How many years from 2013 to 2020? 7 years. 7 years, right? 7 years. 11,000 plus apps from 25 to 11,000. How many apps per day? Have you ever calculated? 6 apps per day. Just calculate this. Creation of 6 apps per day, right? Let me expand this. So creating 6 apps per day. SAP is creating 6 apps per day. Just imagine the amount of money SAP is investing. Can you imagine the amount of money SAP is investing to create these apps? Right? That definitely we cannot judge how much money SAP is investing, but we can definitely think about it that it definitely has to be a very big number. What do you say, class? Yes or no? Yes. So Sarfaraz answered me yes. So I believe all of you will agree to me that SAP has invested a lot of money in creating 11,000 plus apps. Okay. So when you invest a lot of money into something, why do you invest, or when will you invest so much money into something? Let's say you want to go and buy some property. A property is like a costly thing, right? It is not going to a pizza shop and just buying a pizza. Let's say you are going to buy a property. Property is a costly thing. So when you will invest that much amount of money? To get more returns. Okay. And another answer I can say is that when you are pretty confident that what you are doing is not going to waste your money. You understand? You invest that much amount of money only in a scenario when you feel that your money is going to be used properly, or it is being used in a right thing, right? Then only you invest that much amount of money. If you feel there is a problem, something here and there, will you invest? Definitely you will not invest. So why I came to that point is, you can understand what is going in SAP's mind. SAP is pretty sure, they know where they are going. They know that they are going towards Fury, and they have proved this with the investment that they have done. They have proved this with the number of apps that they have. They have proved this with SAP S4 HANA, the face of SAP S4 HANA being Fury, etc., etc. So now I believe my class knows the answer, that what is SAP Fiori and how important this SAP Fiori is. How long it will take to learn SAP UI5? From my point of view, 10 to 12 hours is what I'm going to take. But from your point of view, definitely you will need more time. You will have to, absorb this language like the way you absorbed ABAP. How much time you took learning ABAP? Obviously, you took some months, right? In the same way, in order to learn SAP UI5, you will definitely have to do a lot of hard work from your end, and then it will take some few months to be good with SAP UI5. Is it a suitable choice for freshers? What do you say, class? Okay. So you all believe that it's a good choice for freshers. Kali is saying no. Yeah. So he has answered something different. Yes, Kali, can you explain me why, or what is your point of view towards that?
So first of all, if anyone to understand the UCC and the business processes, okay, what exactly, which is the building blocks. Once you know it, then only you can build up an app on it. Until unless you know it, whether if you know if you are a good programmer as well also, but you cannot really deliver to the need of the customer.
Okay, agreed. But then, Kali, one counter question over here is that many of us have started learning ABAP when we had zero knowledge of business and SAP. What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that
fine.
is one way. But S/4HANA is a product, new product, because most of the projects, if it is a migration projects, then they will not ask you are a fresher of SAP UI5 or not. They'll ask that if it is already been, we are executing it in, you want that app. The deliverable time will be less. So you need to
Okay,
understand the business process first.
I got your point. I got your point. I got your point. Yep. So I got your point. Yes, good knowledge of SAP is definitely required. As I told you, right at the beginning of this course, yes, you should have at least 1 year of knowledge of SAP, at least, before you move into SAP UI5. Okay. So, and what I mean by fresher is that anyone who is from 0 to 1 year of experience, I consider them as a fresher. So not exactly a graduate right out of the college, but someone who is working in SAP for last 1 year. It's a good course for them, no doubt about it. Okay, next question. Should functional consultants learn SAP UI5? What do you say? Not required. Yes. Fine, that
They can
depends on
learn,
the
they can
function.
also learn.
Yeah, not really. That depends on the functional's choice. They know they don't need to move into technology, or they don't want to move into development. It's their choice whether they take it or they don't take it, doesn't matter. Yeah, learning is always good, which is fine. And SAP is too big, you can spend your whole life in exploring new things. Okay, what will happen to ABAP if we now ABAP? No, I didn't write that correct. What will happen to ABAP if we now have SAP UI5? That should be the correct question. What is the answer? ABAPers will become full stack developers. Very nice, absolutely perfect answer from Sampath. ABAP will stay, which is also absolutely correct by Deepak. So nothing is going to happen to ABAPers. So why I put that question over there, because most of the time this is the question that I get from ABAP, is that will it become obsolete, or is it going to go away from the market because now SAP is moving towards Fiori and all? What will happen to the ABAPers? The answer is no, they don't have to worry about anything. This is just a front-end technology that SAP has introduced in their domain. It doesn't mean that it is going to remove ABAP as their backend programming language. So it's not going to go anywhere. And any ABAPer who learns SAP UI5, as Sampath has just pointed over here, will be called as a full stack developer. They know everything right from the front end level up till the back end level, and in between you have OData service. So you should know, or you should basically master that also. So you will have 3 layers, basically the UI, the middle OData service, and the backend ABAP. That will make you a full stack developer. Okay, is it suitable for ABAPers to learn SAP UI5? Absolutely, it is a very good course, even for ABAPers, because, and now again, it's a choice. They want to learn, it's well and good. They don't want to learn, then also there is no problem. So it's a choice, but it's definitely a good course for ABAPers. All right. So this was a brief discussion about UI5 and Fiori, and some very important questions. I believe I removed a lot of doubts from your mind related to UI5 and Fiori. What we are going to learn in this course. So as you can see here, I have just highlighted some of the topics. That doesn't mean this is the only topic that I'm going to discuss here. Obviously, whatever best I can give, I will give in the time frame that I have. And these are the most important topics that we are going to discuss here. Plus, we will definitely add in some more topics into this. Okay, and I have already told you right at the very beginning that this page is something that we are going to use throughout our course. So my humble suggestion to all of you is that you kind of bookmark this page. So whenever you have to do our next session, this is the place where you will get the meeting link. Just use that meeting link, join the session. You don't have to worry about anything, whether I'm sending you email, whether I'm sending you PPT, whether I'm sending you invitation, nothing. I'm not going to do all those things. Definitely you understand it's difficult to send so many emails because it's
Can you
difficult to
copy,
manage. Yeah,
can you
go ahead.
copy this? Can you copy this page URL in the chat so we can do a copy paste?
Okay, fine. So I have given this in the chat. You can all bookmark this page. Okay, so this is the place how we are going to. If you have any questions about this course, you can just come over here and comment it. This is the page which I will be monitoring from my end. So you don't have to do about anything. You just have to go here, put some name. That's AR. And you can post a comment, whatever you want to post. And immediately the post will get, or I will get the message, so you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so this is what we are going to do here now. Which is the tool? I hope I have made very clear of what exactly we are going to learn here. Now, which is the tool that we will be learning, or on which tool we will be doing this UI5 coding? So any tool that you are aware of for this SAP UI5 coding?
Eclipse.
Yep, I knew Eclipse is the answer.
Web ID.
Okay, next answer is Web ID. Nice. Okay,
And
so be ready. We are actually going to use Web ID. We are not going to use Eclipse in this course because Eclipse is somewhat outdated at this moment, and Web ID gives you a lot of features that makes your coding journey with UI5 much easy. So my suggestion to all of you is that you go and have a Web ID account ready for yourself to work with this course. Okay, so we will be actually focusing only on Web ID. Web ID is available free of cost. What is the difference between Eclipse and Web ID? That's a nice question. One big difference that I can tell you about Eclipse and Web ID is that Eclipse is kind of a desktop version, but Web ID is a cloud-based application. So it's a cloud-based ID, which means what is the difference between a desktop and a cloud-based ID? The answer is very simple. Anything that is there on the cloud, you can access it from anywhere. You just have to give in the username and password and you access that development environment. Like for example, your Gmail, right? So you can access your Gmail from anywhere. How to get Web ID access, right? So for that, what you have to do is you have to go to this SAP UI5, and over here I have, actually in my invitation, I had told you that you should be doing this course and you should set up the development environment. Can we some download link to download Web ID? Okay, fine. It's in the mail. Okay, yeah. So yes, this is the place from where you can get into Web ID. What you have to do here, look at this. I will just tell you. Look at this. This is a URL.
Yeah, already we did it.
Right? Accounts, yes. Many of us are not aware of this, so I'm just trying to explain them. Look at this. We have this account.hanatrial.ondemand.com. You need to go to this place. You need to register yourself. Once you register, what will happen? It will send you an email to your email ID, and from there you can activate the trial account, and then you need to go into, once you log in, so again you come back to this account hanatrial.ondemand.com. You just give in the username and password that you have created, log in. You will come to this particular page which is known as welcome to SAP Cloud Platform Trial Edition. From here you can use the Web ID. As you can see here, launch SAP Web ID. From here you can use the Web ID. So this course will be focused with Web ID. I will suggest everyone to use Web ID. Don't go with Eclipse. It will waste a lot of time of yours. And as you must have understood by the style of teaching of mine by this moment, so you must have understood that I'm going to give you the best thing and at a fast pace. So
Sir,
I'm not.
Sir, would you mind that link copying in the chat one more time, please? That just a
This
little
one?
bit up. No, little bit up. Just scroll up a little bit. A little bit up. Very.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. Please. I'm sorry to disturb you, but please copy this.
That's okay. No problem. Okay. So, yep. So by this time, you must have understood my style of teaching. I will go a bit fast, but that doesn't mean, I will just waste our time, our precious time in doing things that is not important at this moment in 2020. Eclipse was kind of important in 2015-16, but in 2020, if anyone asks me, I will not recommend them to use Eclipse. Although many organization uses Eclipse, I know that, Many organization uses Eclipse. The only reason why they use Eclipse is Eclipse is free of cost. That's why. But if you are working in a project and you have to use WebID in a real-time project, then for that you cannot use this trial edition. You have to go with the licensed version of WebID, which costs around 30,000 rupees per year per user. So that is the reason many projects, in order to cut the cost of the, or basically to make it a budget project, they kind of don't take up the WebID accounts. You understand? There are a lot of differences between Eclipse and WebID. It's a free of cost thing, but your WebID comes at a price, right? It's a 30,000 rupees per month, per user per year. So hence many projects don't use them, but that's okay. We have to learn the best. So we will be using coding wise, what is the difference between Eclipse and WebID? There is not much difference between Eclipse and WebID. Coding wise, it is absolutely the same. There is no difference at all. Okay, so there is no difference at all. Fine. So okay, so you must have got an idea of what exactly I'm going to train over here. So very first thing that you have to do is you all have to get a WebID account. What you have to do, remember one thing, that this site over here that I have will be your reference point. This site is going to be your reference point. So so anything that I teach, anything that I'm going to cover, all right, everything is explained throughout this site. Okay, so this is my own site. Don't worry that I'm just taking anybody else's work and I'm showing you. No, it's not like that. This is my own hard work, and this hard work I'm sharing with you free of cost. So this is my own hard work. So what you have to do here, you have to go to this page, and I have given you step-by-step instructions. You just create the WebID account. It is pretty easy. I think all of you can create this. If you look at this, I have already created my WebID account long time back, and I have a lot of projects and everything inside my WebID account. So I will be using this, or perhaps if tomorrow I am taking, yeah, definitely I will take a class tomorrow also, and tomorrow I will try to create a fresh WebID, because all these projects will kind of confuse you. I don't want to confuse you, so I will take a fresh WebID. So this is the place you need to just click on this launch SAP WebID. It opens you this WebID account, and if you look at this, this is the place where you can do all your coding, etc., etc., related to SAP UI5. Whatever you see here, all these are UI5 projects. All these are UI5 projects. I'm just randomly going here and there. If you look at this, this is how it looks like. This is the kind of code that we will be doing throughout our course, and these are all UI5 projects. We will discuss everything. We will cover everything. Don't worry. So yes, many of you have covered or completed this WebID setup, which is good process. Now, what next you have to do here is that once you have set up, you just make sure that you also set up the demo system for ES5. I don't know how many of you must have completed this process, but then you need to complete this process, that is connect your SAP Gateway demo system ES5, and then you should also connect your Northwind OData service. Write down your Northwind OData service. Great. So Swati is telling ES5 is also done, but rest of the class, don't worry.
Amit?
Yep.
Just one thing, I was checking in ES5 system and I don't have any development authorization. Is that fine, or do we need any authorization object for it?
No, ES5 will not give you any development authorization. So it is just a demo system that is given by SAP for you to consume OData service. They are not going to give you any development environment in which you can do any kind of development. No.
Okay, so during the part of this code, are we not going to create any OData services in ES5?
I will create an OData service, definitely, but you will not be able to create this because I will be using my own server to create that. And if you want to practice, you can practice it in your company, or I will help you with a server if you need that. Server doesn't come free of cost. So you will have to pay for the server. I don't have to do anything with the server. You take it, you don't take it, I don't care. Okay. Or it doesn't matter to me at this moment.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
But you understood the point.
Yes.
Okay. Now there are few things. So rest of the class, okay, rest of the class, listen to me carefully. If you have not created your web ID account, don't worry. You can create your web ID account easily. It's free of cost. All you have to do is you have to come to this link and you follow this and you will be able to create it. Point number two, second point, once you have created your web ID account, then kind of you need to connect with these systems, ES5 system or a Northwind system. Either of the two is fine. Either of the two is fine. The connecting process of with these systems is also very easy. And if you want to explain me how to connect that, I can do that. But what I will suggest is that that is kind of a exercise to all of you that will indicate how serious you are in taking this course. So what I will suggest is you connect with this ES5 and you also connect with the Northwind OData service, both of them. ES5 is backend system to create OData kind of services. Okay, we will discuss about that. Don't worry. Okay, we will discuss about that. So these are the few things. This is a development environment. This was the same link that I have forwarded you in your invitation. I had written that very carefully in the invitation that just try to follow this step and get this thing ready. That's why we are not done right now. You have a whole day to do that. Let me tell you one more thing. This will be a practical course. It's not going to be a theoretical course. We will be doing a lot of codings, etc., etc. So as I told you, since it is so important, you all have mentioned that it is a very important topic. So if it is so important, you have to spend some time and energy, and you have to spend some, time to this. Then only you will learn something so important, right? So you can do this. Now, done. So fine. And when I will wind up today's course, I want to just show you how to create a simple hello world example, and then I will wind up for today's session. And once we are done with this SAP UI5 hello world example, that will kind of give you an idea whether you are fit to continue with this course or whether you feel this is challenging and you can spend that same time in doing something else. So there is no compulsion. Let me create this first example for you. Okay. Now, once you have set up the web ID, right? I hope you all are okay how to set up a web ID. I think anyone facing difficulty in that, just let me know in the chat box. Or all of you are okay with setting up the web ID. Perfect. All right. I believe all of you should be okay setting up the web ID. That's an easy thing. You can do that. Now, once you set up your web ID, you will come to this screen, and in this screen, basically, you will land up to this home page. This is the home page. You will land up on this home page. Now, this is the home page, but you need to go to this development environment, these curly braces or whatever angular brackets that you see here. You need to go to this development environment. And in your case, the workspace or this folder workspace will have nothing. It will be empty. So I'm going to cover over here your first UI5 application in just 2 minutes. In just 2 minutes, we are going to create a UI5 application. So what we are going to do here, right click on your workspace, new, and then you select a project from template. Okay. So I'm going to select project from template. What I'm doing here, of course, you might be thinking from where I will remember all these things. You don't have to remember anything. I told you everything that I'm going to teach here is available as a written document in front of you. So anytime you can come and you can refer to whatever I have taught. So look at this. I'm going to create my first hello world example. For that, I have to go to my web ID, right click, new project from template. And here I'm going to select the template, which is SAP UI5 application. So let me go back to my web ID and scroll down a bit, and you will get this SAP Ui5 application. Click on next. You can give a project name over here. I'm giving my website name AMARMN. Okay, and I'm giving a namespace. You can give anything over here, it doesn't matter. So what is a namespace? The concept of namespace is the same as the concept of namespace in ABAP. I think you might be aware of what is namespace in ABAP. So that concept remains the same. Basically, it's kind of a naming space environment given to a particular project. You might have seen that in ABAP we use namespace for certain projects because it gives you the choice of some meaningful names. So that same concept goes here also, namespace. But then this is my project name. This is actually the UI5 project name that we are going to create here. So project from template, give the project name, click on next. We see here there's something called as view type, view name. Don't worry. Don't worry. What is this view type? What is this view name? Don't worry. We will go into details about all those things later. But for the time being, you can understand that there is a view type that is XML. So one more point, when we will be learning our SAP UI5, we will kind of make ourselves very much familiar with XML. Okay. So this is one of the most important language of SAP UI5. We will be using this language very frequently, actually quite a lot. Okay. But don't worry, it's a very easy language. You can easily learn XML. It's a very easy language. Okay. So we are going to create a majority of our projects, almost all the projects that we will create will be based on XML language. But you don't worry about that also. This language also will come to you indirectly. You don't have to run behind this language directly. Okay, so here I've used XML. This is my view name. You can give any view name over here, like for example, main, or we can leave it view one also, it doesn't matter. Let me change it to main. Okay, and you click on next and you click on finish, done. Okay, so all of you who might have thought what exactly happened here, let me explain you what exactly happened here. We came to our web ID. We know this is the place or this is the tool on which we can create UI5 applications. In the web ID, SAP has already given you some templates. What exactly is a template? A template is a kind of a pre-written code, or basically on top of which you can write your own code. So it's a template. Using one of the templates, we quickly created a UI5 application. As you can see here, the name of my project is Amarman, and I have got the entire UI5 application ready for me. It is ready and it is ready to be tested. So if you just click on this and you click on this run button over here and select index.html, okay. And you see the output of your UI5 application. So what did you understand by?
How did you go there? Can you do one more time, please?
Yeah, I mean, just select your project, click on this run button, and it will execute. What will happen is in your case, probably in your case, what will happen is it might stop at the Chrome level saying that, it is trying to open up a window. So you need to go here and you need to just allow opening up a new window. That is what you have to do there. In my case, since it is already configured, so it is running up. Okay, look at this. This is an empty SAP UI5 application. Nothing is there, just a title. But that's not a bad achievement in just 2 minutes. If you think about it, it's a very good achievement for anyone, whether you are a functional consultant, ABAPer, fresher, whoever you may be. It's a good achievement because in 2 minutes, you kind of created a UI5 application and now you are running it and you can see the title of the UI5 application. It's a good achievement, right? So before we wind up today's session, a lot of folders and many things has been created by the web ID. A lot of folders and many things has been created. And among these folders, this was the view that we created. You remember we gave the name of the view as main, right? So this was the view that was created. Look at this. This code is an XML code. .xml, the file extension clearly says that this is an XML code. So what I said here, that we will be learning XML, not directly, but indirectly. You don't run behind XML. XML will come indirectly to you. Okay. So we will be learning XML. And second most important thing that we will be learning is JavaScript. So again, you don't have to run behind JavaScript. JavaScript will come to you. All right, so these are the two main languages which we will be discussing a lot throughout our UI5 application. And I think that's it for today. I don't want to overwhelm all of you by giving a lot of information on the very first day, but you must have understood by this time that it's going to be a very good coding experience. It is not going to be a theoretical session. I just showed you slides and all. No, it's not going to be do like that. I will do a lot of programming, and I will expect from your end also to do all those programmings, right? So before we wind up,
Tomorrow.
we will have a session tomorrow, same time. And then tomorrow, what you can do is you can decide will be your feasible time for the upcoming sessions. Don't message me, don't WhatsApp me, don't email me. Just come here, leave it in the comment. Based on the reply in the comment, I will figure out which is the best time suitable for us, and then we will continue in that same time. And there is no hidden thing. If you do over here, it's not like I'm just trying to be a favor to someone. No, nothing like that. It's all in front of you. You will find everyone can read this, everyone can see this comment, so it will be all in front of you. You will have total transparency on what we are doing here. Yes, tomorrow same time, Swati. So we will meet tomorrow same time. And what is today's task? If you look at this, I have also mentioned topics covered. So as we go ahead, I will keep updating this thing. So whatever topics are covered, I will keep updating, and this list will continue growing on, right? So today I will mention that I have given an introduction to SAP UI5. I have asked you to create a web ID account, and I have asked you to create a hello world example. These are the three things that we covered today, and I will mention all these things right over here. Right? All good, class? So I
Amit,
hope
sorry, I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, what is the namespace? When you were defining the SAP Ui5 project, there was one section namespace. What is the exactly meaning of that?
Okay. Anyone from the class, can anyone answer this question? Namespace?
I think it's kind of a naming convention for every client have their own naming convention, and right, if you're a wrapper. So the same way, I guess, right, Amit?
Perfect. Yes, that is absolutely correct answer. Every client has their own naming convention, and they follow their naming convention, which becomes their namespace. So if you want to elaborate, if you want me to elaborate more on that, just think about one scenario. I'm going to give you one scenario. When you create
Okay.
a ABAP application, you always start your ABAP application name with Z, right? Z,
Yeah.
alphabet Z or Y, right?
Why? Yeah.
Now, Z or Y, right? Now just think about it. Let's say, you are a wealthy client and you don't want to write all your applications starting with that same Z, 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 Z. You are a wealthy client. So what you will do, you will buy a namespace from SAP. Now namespace, as Sharon just explained us, that it's kind of a naming convention so that it doesn't force us to use Z or Y. You can give some real project specific namespace so that all your development that you do is like reflecting better what exactly you are doing over there. I think I must have made the point very clear, and Sharon also explained that very nicely. So that is what it is. Namespace is kind of a naming convention. You don't have to just fix to Z or Y. You can use this naming convention to create your app applications. In the same way, you can use that namespace to create your UI5 applications.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Welcome. So thanks, class. Thanks for joining today's session. Yep. Already we have done for today's, and we are, we are done with today's session. So let's meet tomorrow, 7 p.m. same time. Till there, take care.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Amit.
Thanks, Amit.